It takes roughly 5 seconds for a large language model to generate a multi-page master's-level essay on almost any topic you ask it. For years, the logistics of remote learning were the primary hurdle. Universities focused on providing stable platforms, formatting digital modules, and ensuring students had the necessary hardware to participate from home. This chart shows the scale of that success. Remote enrollment nationwide stood at 53.2% in 2023, remaining well above pre-pandemic levels, as institutions prioritize serving geographically dispersed learners. While the delivery of content is now a routine operation, verifying that a remote student actually understands that content is the new point of friction. If a student can use an algorithm to produce their coursework, the degree itself loses its primary function as a reliable credential for the workforce. For over a century, academic integrity relied on physical synchronization. You placed thousands of students in a single, highly monitored room with human invigilators to ensure the work being produced was authentic. That physical control is impossible in distance education. As generative tools become more sophisticated, the organizations responsible for high-stakes professional testing are beginning to abandon remote options entirely. This map highlights a growing retreat. In the United States, the law school admission test recently ended its online option due to cheating concerns. In the UK, the language testing body IELTS withdrew from a government bid because they could not guarantee remote security. When the institutions that guard the gates to the legal system and international immigration pull back from the technology, it signals that the current model of remote assessment is reaching a breaking point for credibility. The immediate reaction from many universities was to meet the threat of AI with even more aggressive surveillance software. Remote proctoring uses computer vision to measure a rigid radius around the head, scan the mouth, and track the pupils to ensure the student never looks away. While marketed for integrity, this level of monitoring triggers intense anxiety and raises significant questions about privacy. There is also a hidden technical requirement. These systems only function if a student possesses a quiet, well-lit, private room with an uninterrupted high-speed internet connection. In regions like Africa, where home connectivity and living environments vary sharply, these software assumptions often fail. Students risk being flagged for suspicious activity simply because of the reality of their local infrastructure. Relying on a surveillance state to protect a broken testing model undermines the primary benefit of distance education, widening participation for those outside traditional academic environments. The problem may lie in the nature of the test itself. For decades, higher education has relied on static written outputs, like essays, as the primary metric for human understanding. AI has effectively ended the era where a polished take-home assignment can serve as reliable proof of a student's individual comprehension. This diagram illustrates an alternative approach, layered assessment. Instead of a single final submission, evaluation is spread across several continuous demonstrations of knowledge. A core project submissions, followed by live virtual oral defenses where a lecturer questions the student directly to verify originality. AI can actually help scale this more personal model. It can act as an examiner's assistant, transcribing these verbal defenses and suggesting follow-up questions to help professors identify inconsistencies in a student's responses. By exposing the limitations of automated grading and static essays, AI is pushing the assessment model back toward real-time, authentic verification. In this model, earning a degree requires a student to actively defend their judgment and communicate their reasoning in a live environment. Adapting to this standard is essential. For millions of part-time learners and working adults, distance education is the most viable path to higher learning and career advancement. If institutions continue to use outdated tests protected only by invasive proctoring software, the flexibility of remote learning might survive, but the actual value of the degree will likely erode. The path forward requires humane, context-aware assessment that prioritizes direct verification over constant surveillance. By moving away from the illusion of the perfect essay and toward authentic proof of understanding, distance education can emerge from this reckoning as a more trustworthy and accessible system than it was before.